Alright guys, so in this video we're going to be basically showcasing some Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a tank, and he is a sorcerer of the Supreme, and he's pretty cool. Doctor Strange is actually a really cool character. In my honest opinion, he's honestly one of the best tanks because he provides a lot of cover. In this game, cover is absolutely important, and he allows your team sometimes to even be aggressive while being able to walk forward in the open areas. So Doctor Strange brings a lot. So in this game, we're going to just basically showcase, right now we're just playing against some bots so that you guys understand that the game level, the level of games are going to be a little bit more easier and whatnot. And I'm able to just talk to you, kind of giving you a showcase of what these characters are really made of. So basically, the game plan right now is to usually try to be in front of your team and basically hold your shield out. Now, keep in mind, there is a balance between when and when you don't want to have your shield. You don't always just want to be walking forward with it because this is going to burn the shield out. And you are a little bit slower. Now keep in mind, he does have a melee. And this is actually really good because melees actually go through shields. So for now, I'm just going to kind of just hold this out. I'm going to try to just kind of take some of the damage in. Let my teammates heal me. Fortunately, my shield breaks. And I'm going to basically die in this situation. Now, it is kind of important that you do need to coordinate with your teammates and allow them, or make sure that they're healing you to your, their best ability. Keep in mind also, when you're using his abilities, you are gonna basically, you're gonna notice that your cape gets a little bit more green. Basically, what this does is you're gonna pop the E, and the E is essentially going to do an explosion. The whole premise of this is that when you are fully topped off, you actually don't receive heals. But you have this burst of an explosion that allows you to do a massive explosion burst of damage. Try to use that sparingly when you can. Also, I'm shielding right now so that he doesn't get any heals. And at the same time, you kind of just want to pop it sometimes in hopes that it's going to get a kill. Now I'm going to keep doing this as best as I can. Now, in this situation, you do, when you hear an Iron Man or something really big coming out, pop your shield out because it can take the hit that your teammates won't want to basically receive. Now, I'm getting kind of hurt here, so I got to make sure that my teammates are helping me here. Let's try to get their healers here in this situation because clearly the healers are kind of helping them. So I'm going to pop my ult here so that we can kind of stagger them in general. I'm going to pop this and then kill the Jeff. Really simple, nice, because I gained all of that power originally from my enemy, basically from that ultimate. So we're going to basically smother him. And if you don't feel like you have good aim, don't be afraid to melee. Melees are still just as good. So for now, we're going to just kind of hold the shield out, making sure that my teammates don't get hurt or injured. It gives my team also time. It gives my team ample time to essentially, restock on health and all that other stuff. Now I hear one thing that you're going to always want to do is you always want to listen for teammates. Now, if you have trouble also getting up in high areas, you do have your levitate. Now, levitate's really good because you're actually able to block out moves from the flying type. So right now, we're going to just kind of sit back, do our best. We're kind of just dictating, don't worry about getting tons and tons of kills with, with Doctor Strange. It's not his job to get the kills. Now, if you are getting a lot of kills with him, that's great. But for the most part, in this situation here, we want to try and kill the Jeff ahead of time because then it's going to drop our teammates and it's going to drop his teammates. In this situation, we want to pop that, and there you go. Now, ultimately, whenever you do use Doctor Strange's ult, you don't want to necessarily solo pop it for certain characters, but if you have the ability to stop, especially squishy characters, in their tracks, do it. If you're having trouble with a character, pop your ult. Try to coordinate it with your team, because honestly, coordinating it with your team is important. Don't just pop it just because they're in front of you. Be patient. Now, okay, here's a good position where Thor is just kind of using one of his F abilities, which gives him great projectiles. And right now, we're kind of just sitting here, kind of try to work together on killing him. Probably not going to get that kill, and that's totally okay. Every time you hear that pop, you want to essentially pop that if you can. Fortunately, we aren't going to have the time to kind of protect them against that. We're going to pop this. Now, in this situation, I'm going to pop my ult here. Fortunately, I burn it, and that is the consequence to honestly playing the character itself. He has a very rewarding ult, but if you don't do it sparingly, you are going to get killed by it. So it's actually a good thing that I die. So that shows you why you don't want to just necessarily pop it at random. You want to be very smart about it. In general, you're just gonna keep going, doing your best. Try to do as much damage as you can in the close range combats. It does get really chaotic, and that's totally okay. You know, in general, if I want to, I can fly up here, and I can, you know, I can essentially do that, blocking out his inability to, you know, to attack. Now, I could block that. I didn't react to it fast enough. So, playing Doctor Strange is a little hard. It's a lot of reaction based and knowing things, and as you get more familiar with the game, it's going to come more naturally. Like I said, this isn't a very serious match. This is just trying to showcase the character and what he can do. Just do your best if you can to pop, you know, your thing every so often. Right now, we're going to just keep holding this shield out. You know, in this situation, we want to just try to, you know, decrease their value. It's a trade-off. This is essentially what you're doing with him. Now, if I want to, you're going to want to reload, get up here, and then, you know, I got bubbled, so I can take some damage, and you can fly, and you can even smother the, you know, flying characters. Also, whenever someone uses their ult, you know, against your team, your shield is the biggest counter. Even though it's not an ultimate, it's just a really, really good counter to, you know, essentially, you know, taking out those characters. Now, this Iron Man's still trying to go ahead and kill me, and that's fine. I'm actually going to try and just kind of counter him here. Perfect example of why the shield is so good. Now, it breaks my shield, but that's okay, because honestly, you know, even though it's breaking my shield, you know, at least I'm not dying. Now, keep in mind also that you do need to try and, you know, coordinate with your team in general to make sure that, you know, they're standing behind you. Now, we're smothered here. This is a good situation. We want to just try and kill them if we can. And I end up killing the magic in the process with my, you know, AoE explosion. You know, and this is great. That actually protects my team in front of it, so any burst damage that comes out is going to essentially help out. I'm going to ignore everyone else. And we're going to just try to kill this, you know, Iron Man. Not every fight is going to be like that. It's not going to be that easy. Also, one really good tip is when you're playing and using these characters, you definitely want to just kind of showcase and make sure that you're trying to kill. It doesn't matter who you are playing or who you're using. You want to try and destroy all of the objects like Loki's things. Now, I'm low on health here, and I'm getting meleeed. Fortunately, my team is not there to help, so it's a little unfortunate. And that's okay.
Your god is suffering. By the shades of the seraphim, I return.
It's just me burning my ult, or not my ult, my levitate, and that's okay. I'm just kind of having fun with it. And honestly, that burst damage is actually just really, really solid in general because, you know, you're able to just get a really big explosion off on a really strong character, doing lots of damage, and that's honestly really good. Like, it honestly, it can kill. Now, we're getting clustered here. I'm going to go ahead and try and just ult them. This is great because it stuns everybody. Really, really good. On your off time, if you have nothing to do, just essentially try your best to, you know, do what you can to use those, you know, destroy all the statues and all whatnot. Hold your shield out. Try to position yourself with your team. That's the hard part. What you want to do is you want to... Do you see how I basically didn't take any damage from that ultimate? That's great. If my teammate's standing behind me, you know, that's even better because they won't take any of that damage. This is a really good situation. I'm going to end the game with 39 kills, and I believe I'm also the MVP. Now, one of the reasons that you are a tank is, although yes, I am kind of using him in somewhat of a DPS manner, if your team is kind of rolling over the competition, you really don't need to use the shield a lot. But the shield is really helpful, especially a healthy shield, because essentially you want to use it in order to kind of, you know, break over choke points and whatnot and things like that. If you found this video very helpful, please leave a comment below, and I'm very excited to showcase more of these characters. Next, I believe we're going to be showcasing Venom for the next feature character. So go ahead and head on to that. The video is going to be next on the end of this video. And again, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you guys can, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.